After that build-up.
How's draft workouts been going?
Really good. I come bearing stats, guys, because you ask a lot. So I actually looked it up this time. We've had 70 guys in, and we've been to Portsmouth. We've been to a G League camp that had draft guys and the combine. So between all of that, it's a lot of guys we've been able to see so far. Obviously, still have some to go, but we've had a good chunk of the guys we're evaluating in already. So it's been great.
Obviously, you've seen that many guys. They're not just for your picks. You're looking at other scenarios too, like I'm imagining.
Yeah, I mean, we try to get in guys of all different draft ranges and guys to evaluate for the future. I mean, you can only draft a few every year, but you know, if you have them in, you get to know them, get to meet them. Then if 3 years from now they play well in the G League or in Turkey, then you know you at least have got to know them a little bit. So yeah, we're evaluating for many years in the future as well as right now.
How realistic is 3 first-round draft picks that they're all Boston Celtics next year? Is just the numbers-wise, it seems to be difficult based on what you already have.
We've been down this road in the past few years where we've had lots of picks, and it is something you have to consider, and you know, but just so many other things will dictate whether that's feasible or not. But we do like a lot of guys in this draft, and there are scenarios where we would have 3 guys and keep them all and draft them. You know, it's certainly manageable on a 15 or 17 man roster now with 2 ways to have some rookies.
When you talk to some of these guys, are you asking certain ones about stash possibilities, or will you overseas possibilities?
It's tough in the first round. Not too many guys are going to be willing to do that at stateside. Yeah, we talk about all those things. Everybody says no early, Steve, and then sometimes late they change their mind. But those are conversations you have.
Are there specific things, Austin, that when you are going through this process of evaluating guys that you're looking for that brings a certain level of comfort that this is the guy?
Yeah, I mean, you're always just trying to get as much information as possible, right? Talk to them, put them in drills, and try to pick at their weaknesses or show their strengths. And we're just trying to get as comfortable as we can with this, very difficult projection.
Yeah. One of the things, actually, a couple of players mentioned was that this workout with you guys, there was a little bit more play as opposed to working on skills and things like that at some of their other workouts. Is that something that you guys have kind of tweaked over time, or has that kind of been?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been the emphasis over the last few years for sure. But, we try to explain that, it's really a tryout. Workout's not really the right word. It's more like a tryout. So we do try to do as much live action and competitive action as we can.
Admiral was just saying it's important to him to show that he's not just like a physical specimen. He's able to do a lot of things. What?
So humble of him. No, I mean,
he said bodybuilder.
And do they have to sell themselves through interviewing types? Also,
Admiral, we've seen him play all year, and he can shoot as well as look good with his shirt off. Yes. I'm sorry.
Just piggybacking on when Adam was interviewing and things like that, because there are certain chemistry factors that you need to get across.
Yeah, and you can't learn that much about a kid in a 30-minute interview or a dinner, which we had with some of the guys last night who were in town. But again, we're just trying to get as much information as we can within the rules.
Yeah.
Do you sense any different dynamics when you have a couple of teammates working out with and against each other, like you did today?
Yeah, there's more trash talking
when
the guys know each other really well. Actually, just kind of random turn of events. We had obviously Jordan Bone and Admiral, who played at Tennessee together, and then Malik Yarborough who was 4-year high school teammate of Admiral Schofield's in Chicago. So that makes for some fun banter.
Have you guys been able to get most guys you want to see, given your draft range?
Yeah, it's been great this year. Just having multiple picks that we've been able to get a lot of the guys in or on the schedule. We'll see if it works out as we hope, but we've had some good luck with that this year.
A guy like Ty Jerome, I mean, obviously spotlight all season long. You kind of know what he can do. What does he need to show, or what can he show you in an individual workout that you haven't already seen?
Yeah, there's not a ton you can do that would change a ton, right? But like I said, you try to put them in a little bit of the different scenarios, different situations, pick it, weaknesses, put them with different matchups, and system matters a lot, right? We had O'Shea Brissett went to some place called Syracuse. You heard of it?
I've heard of it, yeah.
And they play a lot of zone.
Safety
and
school.
So and so we get him out of that and put him man to man, and Virginia does certain things that so we try to make him do other things that he did at Virginia, and just get a little more info.
How does this class of international prospects compare to the last couple of years?
Let me think of how to answer that. It's there's not as many first round projected picks as in other years. It's always hard to judge drafts, right? Some people say is it a strong draft if the number 1 pick is really good? Is it a strong draft if it's the whole first round? Is it a strong draft if it's all the way to the 60th pick? It's kind of hard, and I think this draft is pretty strong in the 14 to 22 range. It's really good.
Of the 70 guys, how many of those pulled out, went back to school? Any idea?
I'd have to go back and look, but we had at least 5 to 10 testing guys that went back.
What kind of skills are you looking for that tell you a guy's college skills can translate to the NBA?
I mean, the obvious ones are length and athleticism, right? You start there and then you move on to the skills. Shooting, thinking, competitiveness are always a premium at every level. But then, pick and roll play is obviously very important in the NBA. And, and you have bigger, better athletes in the NBA. So, that's why these workouts are good, because you have all high-level athletes, the best college players, and see if they can do those same things against higher-level competition.
But do you see a guy, like, if he has, for example, a low release point or something like that, do you see a guy and say, maybe we can draft him and fix that, or is that something that's disqualifying?
Yeah, those are things. I mean, we've had we've done some crazy things. We've had guys in, and we've had some big guys try to shoot underhand to see if they can make free throws underhand. We've even tried to, if a guy it just has the worst shot ever right-handed, we've had him do some form shooting left-handed to see maybe they can switch hands and fix this thing. We've done some crazy things like that, but most of the time, guys are going to be about what they've been.
Those guys ever drafted by you guys?
No, but we have Dave Lewin in particular loves to just say we should just switch his hand. He should just start over, and so every now and again we have fun playing around with that.
How do the players react to that type of stuff?
They look at us like we're crazy sometimes, but the underhand is interesting. I still think there's some opportunities for guys to try it.
Is the run record still standing?
Yes, still Jonathan Lee, Northeastern,
right.
I think, is still the leader in the clubhouse.
Anyone close?
Guys.
I mean, yeah, there's been a bunch, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think your articles in the past I would have to Google to remember. So.
Any final questions for Austin?
You guys obviously have a lot, different balls in the air this year as an organization. Just to have the timing of the draft where it is, is it, tougher than, obviously we've talked about the draft first, before, after free agency.
I have been a big proponent of switching the draft and free agency. I think that most teams build from veteran players first, right? If you have a top 5 pick, you're most likely a rebuilding team. So free agency isn't affecting that, right? Because if you have a top 5 pick, you're probably going to build with that first. But free agency doesn't affect you much, right? And then all the other teams, you more likely are fitting in draft picks in and around a veteran core group. So I think that the calendar should follow our decision-making tree. So I do think it should be switched. Some people see it that way, some people don't. But it's something I think that we should look at very strongly. When I ask why it is the way it is, no one has a great answer. Just inertia, just history.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.